Daybreak at Southport Yacht Club on Australia's Gold Coast. Months of planning and preparation have led up to the final moment of truth when we commit to our departure across the Coral Sea. Along with our shipmate Paul, we entrust ourselves to the good ship Cadence. So buckle up and join us for one wild ride from Australia to New Caledonia and beyond, as we do battle at sea with some things we did anticipate and a lot we did not, like the outbreak of civil war in New Caledonia, the biggest geo-magnetic storm in 20 years threatening the GPS system, and more than our fair share of boat breakages. Okay, now it's time to really go through with it. Cast off the lines and shove off.
Hi, we're Mark and Kate and we're the Rad-Nomads. We believe that life is way too short to waste, so we decided to set sail, see the world, follow the sun, die old and stay pretty. Hey, why don't you come along for the ride? It'll be sick! That's it, we're done.
Yeah.
We
What do you
are
got to
ready
say?
to go. We are now officially cleared out of Australia. We are ready to go. Border Force have come, they were great. We've got everything sorted. There's no reason we are not getting out of here right now. So we're gonna off the line, start the motor up and get out of Southport Marina and through the, what do you call that?
Seaway.
The Seaway, and we are officially leaving Australia.
Heading east.
Here we go, Rad-Nomads, look out son.
Well, they're taking the dog on over there. Those people must look suspicious. Little did we know then the crucial role the crews of Yaminda and Kajura would play in getting us to our destination.
See, the roller coaster's going already.
Oh wow, roller coasters away. And we are the first to get away this morning, so importantly, we're winning at the moment. A good start. So far so good.
We're about to hit the Seaway, baby.
Gold Coast Seaway Tower. We're just about to head out through the heads, across the bar at Gold Coast, and then we're out in the ocean. A bit roly-poly, but not too bad so far.
Look at the Goldie. Bloody hell, what a place.
Out of control.
Well, that's going to be the last we're going to see of Tracy civilization for hopefully a long, long time. No high rises, no craziness, no people on jet skis doing weird shit in front of us.
Hopefully.
It's going to be beautiful countries.
Well, it is lunchtime on day number 1, so we're trucking along quite well. Literally trucking. We've got the engine on because it's only about 8 to 10 knots of wind right behind us, but we want to make some ground today by heading pretty much due east so that we can get out there before the wind starts, and that will allow us then to turn and head for Noumea, hopefully with the wind right across our beam. So how are you going, Mark?
Good. Just been working out what we're doing at the moment. We're averaging about, I think, 6.7 knots an hour, so which is not bad. We've kind of figured on around about that figure to get to where we get there by the time we want to get there. If we can maintain that, we'll be laughing. So
if we can.
Well, the seas are pretty good. Not a lot of wind. Little bit of swell, but yeah, it's actually pretty comfy right now. Touch wood.
And so we began to settle into the rhythm of our passage across the Coral Sea. Well, still going along quite well. The sun's out now, which is rather nice. Actually nice and warm. But we haven't still got much wind. It's only about 7 or 8, maybe 9 knots, which is not going to get us going along very fast if we were purely under sail, so we're still motoring. We've got the mainsail up to give us some balance, but we're just motoring along. We really want to get east. We've got an opportunity at the moment to go east while there's not much wind, and that's going to set us up really well for probably tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, when we'll turn and head up into Noumea. So
hopefully at that stage we'll get a little bit of wind and should be across the beam. So fingers crossed we will get sailing eventually.
Paul's reading up on the 12-volt Bible. Like, don't have too much fun, Paul. Sunset on day one, and life aboard was serene. We felt completely at ease out of sight of land. Little did we know what challenges lie ahead.
Well, day two of our passage has dawned. It's very sort of grey and cloudy, and there's been squalls and lightning all around during the night, but not really just where we were. So we've kind of managed to dodge these squalls and pick a fairly sweet spot so far. But the sun has come up now. It was a lovely sunrise. There was a break in the clouds just where we were headed, so that always lifts the spirits after a night of sort of bashing around in a bit of slop. I mean, the sea state's not terrible, it's just a lot of chop. So anyway, Cadence loves that kind of thing. She's just trucking along. We've still got the motor on because the boys are sleeping and I just could not be asked setting up the sails on my own. So but we have got enough wind now, so once the boys get up and about, we'll get some sails up and get the motor off, and it'd be nice to do some sailing. We've got a beautiful wind angle too. It's just after the beam, and yeah, we're trucking along really well. So yeah, we were flying at one point during the night, doing 8-9 knots, picked up a 2-knot current as we were coming around the seamounts. There was a severe geo-magnetic storm over the weekend. Everybody down south has been watching the auroras and it looks spectacular. Well, from the photos, we couldn't see any of it up here, and surprisingly our satellite comms have been fine. So yeah, our Starlink has worked all night and it's still working. The Iridium's been a little bit touch and go, but the Iridium always is. So yeah, probably no different to normal, and we seem to be doing fine with GPS, a system that's still working. We have been noting down our position and speed and direction every hour overnight, just in case something goes a bit screwy with the GPS network. But no, so far so good. So hopefully it'll all keep working and we'll just keep on trucking.
So it's always a race, right? So Amelie is off to our port side. We're kind of neck and neck now. We slowed down a little bit earlier in the night, last night, so it was bumpy lumpy. And Yaminda is the one behind us. They're a Seawind cat, so we're out there with the cats. It's very pleasant out here now. We're finally fully under sail. We put our voice? That's my video voice. So we've got the heady out and we've got the main up on one reef and we've got it right out. We've got about 135 degrees to the wind, so we've got our preventer on. It was a bit of an exercise getting it all set up, but we're there now and we've shaken out a couple of reefs. And yeah, we're doing nicely. We've got about 11 or 12 knots of wind and we're just cruising along at about 6 knots. So we're just going to do this for a while and enjoy the sounds of silence. Well, we've had a lovely day of sailing today. It's been lovely and warm. The clouds all burned off earlier this morning, so that left us with beautiful sunshine. And so yeah, we've been enjoying a nice day of sailing with the wind about off our port quarter most of the day. Eventually it became a bit shifty and
started backing and just was giving us a lot of grief. So we've just brought the main right in, reefed it down, and we're back to motor sailing now. We had a lovely lunch, cooked a barbecue. That was nice. And yeah, we're looking forward to our dinner. Mark's cooked up a storm before we left. The boys are both having a sleep now. So I'm doing my late afternoon watch, and then I'll try and get some sleep because I'm on the midnight shift tonight. Made really good time. So yeah, we're happy with everything as it's sitting so far. So hopefully we'll have a nice bit of wind across our beam. So that is the plan. If the weather plays ball, then it should all come together quite nicely. So fingers crossed. We had a fish on just then, so I jumped up and rushed over to the fishing rod because the boys are both in bed asleep. Accidentally knocked the brake off, so it just ran out really fast, and then I put it back on and then started reeling it in. I sort of caught sight of the fish thrashing around. I don't know what it was, but it was really big. But then next thing, the line went flat. So obviously my fishing skills are not really up to scratch. So when the boys get up, they've got to hope they've got another lure, because this thing just took everything. So we lost the lure and the hook and the whole lot and the fish. So yeah, no fresh fish so far. But we do have a lot of line with nothing on the end of it. Sorry guys.
Just checking the sails and checking the wind direction. We're hoping for it to swing around a bit more south so we can get the sails working a bit better. Well, things have certainly taken a turn. We're about 280 miles out of the lagoon near Noumea, and apparently there's riots and they're burning the city down. So we finally cross an ocean, and just before we get there, they burn it down. Like, what the?
Unbelievable. So
yeah, so apparently it's quite bad at the moment, although we're getting mixed reports about it might have actually calmed down a bit now. So we're thinking we'll keep on going. The other option is to bypass New Caledonia entirely and head up to Vanuatu, but we're really not keen on that option given that it's not really a planned thing to do. The weather doesn't look fantastic for doing that just right now, and I would really like to have more fuel to go on a journey like that. I mean, we've got plenty to get us into Noumea. We're sailing really well at the moment, and it looks like we'll be able to sail most of the time, if not all of the time, between now and arriving in Noumea. But yeah, to just set off on another journey like that, I can't say I'm keen.
No, we're too far into this trip now to change our plans just on a, I don't know, on a panic station kind of attitude. So we feel pretty confident once we get in through the pass, the outer reefs in New Caledonia, we could find a safe anchorage away from town, away from Noumea itself, the city. And
which is what we're not supposed to do under normal circumstances, entering the country. But we figure if we contact the authorities and just get instructions from them, or tell them that they're welcome to come out to us if it's not safe to actually go in. So,
and it's plus it's another 2 days to Vanuatu over and above this particular journey. So we don't have enough fuel to do that. We do have enough food and stuff like that, but you know, it's water, fuel, all those kind of things. The last thing we want to do is be on the bottom end of our fuel and there's no wind or the weather's bad. It's way too much bigger risk. So no, we're going to stick to the plan. There's a couple of other boats that are doing the same thing, and we will just cop it on the chin and deal with it as it happens. I mean, it's a war zone. What the hell? What's the worst that could happen?
Oh boy, what a day. It all started about 2 o'clock this morning. Luckily I couldn't sleep and got up. Mark was on watch. Of course the wind had picked up and the sea state had become very choppy, sloppy, and
seas of 2 or 3 meters and all over the place, so perfect setting for things to suddenly go wrong. All of a sudden the engine cut out. We have yet to really discover why. So the boys are downstairs talking to a diesel mechanic on the phone. Thank God for Starlink, is all I can say, because we're able to do that. We were putting sails out in the middle of the night. Our heady passed away, so it all just became too much and it gave up. So it's pretty much shredded. So the situation is we have no working motor and our head sail has gone to bits. We're still heading for Noumea because it's more urgent now that we get in there and regroup. Meanwhile, in Noumea, the rioting and shooting has gotten a lot worse. So there are people in the marina who had to team up with the people that work in the boatyard, and apparently they put like concrete barricades on the jetties, and then people were trying to breach that, and the guys were shooting to keep them out, and they called the police, but the police had their hands full with a whole lot of other rioting, so it's a bit of a mess. It's been a lot of burning of buildings apparently, and businesses, and all the shops are shut, everything's closed up and under guards, and there's some troops coming in from France because the local gendarmes have called for reinforcements. So it's not sounding good in Noumea. A lot of the rally participants have diverted to Vanuatu, but there are a few of us who have got breakages and various issues, and so we're just going to press on. We've got about 150 miles to go, so even with just the staysail and a reefed main, we should get there by tomorrow afternoon. It's not exactly as per the brochure, but certainly an adventure.
And so we set about preparations for our arrival in New Caledonia, as more reports of burning, looting and explosions continued to come our way. After spending yet another lumpy bumpy night at sea, frustratingly close to the lagoon entrance at Bellari Pass, we finally arrived and lined ourselves up for a nail-biting entrance through the reefs, under sail only. As we neared the pass, the gap in the reef only revealed itself at the last minute, as we glided through on the perfect line. For once, we looked like total pros, as we sailed perfectly up to the mooring field, turned into the wind and stopped Cadence just short of the moored boats Cadura and Yaminda, who were waiting to help us onto the mooring. It must have looked like we were way more confident than we felt at the time.
Well, haven't we had a time in the last 48 hours? We finally made it into Noumea in New Caledonia. We're currently on a mooring out at Amity Lighthouse. As luck would have it, John from Yaminda used to be a Perkins diesel mechanic. Like, what's the odds? We're out here, there's like about 6 or 8 boats, and there's an absolute expert right next to us. And yeah, we sort of made the comment yesterday, like, this was the easiest get for a diesel mechanic we've ever had. And he just happened to be the perfect person. So luckily he got us out of the poo yesterday, got the engine working, and so now we're preparing to move on in a couple of hours. We're going to go to the start of Havana Pass and go through there tomorrow and sail up to Vila in Vanuatu. We really can't stay in Noumea, not just Noumea the capital, but all over a lot of the islands and some of the mainland as well. The Canucks are rioting and attacking the gendarmerie, and all kinds of things are happening. So it was really eerie last night when we were just out in the bay and kind of limping along slowly, wasting time till it became light. And I could see the light plume for Noumea, but I could also smell the smoke. And that was kind of, yeah, scary. So today we've got a working engine. We don't have tons of fuel to be going as far as Vanuatu, so we're going to have to sail most of the way. But it looks like the winds will be favourable at least. We're going to move up to Bay of Prony this afternoon, which is the start of Havana Pass, which gives us a substantial shortcut instead of going right around Isle of Pines and then up to Vanuatu. So it's about 320 nautical miles, and we'll start that tomorrow, and we'll travel with Cadura and Yaminda, well, as much as we can keep up with them,
given that we'll be a little bit slower than usual because we don't have a big heady anymore. As much as we battled to get here for 48 hours, finally we got here, and now we're just preparing to leave, so that's just dandy, really. But look, it looks like a nice spot. It'd be lovely to come back some other time when we're able to just swan around and do the touristy thing, and there's turtles all around us and little black-tip sharks, and yeah, it looks like it'll be really nice if we ever get back here to do some cruising when they're not in a state of emergency. So here comes Paul, going to come and help me to slip the line. So this is how the moorings come in New Caledonia apparently. There's no painter on them to pick up, so I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to hook up to them unless you have friends in a dinghy to help you like we did when we came in yesterday. So we'll just slip the line shortly and head off. Goodbye Amadi. It's been a nice stop, although brief. Looks like that's a bar area and some banana lounges and umbrellas. Must be quite a place when it's open. Gee, everything around here is well protected by reef and rocks. Oh boy, well that's a problem. Unfortunately overnight our kayak flag seems to have flown away. So now we're going to zip tie our red ensign in a more prominent position so it flies. Just sort of screaming out to anybody who's looking, hey, we're not French, we're Aussies, we're not part of this. So no courtesy flag now, sorry about that for the French, but we're travelling through a couple of passes where we've been told that the Canucks are quite militant, so we don't want to wave a tricolour flag at them, I guess. So yeah, we've just taken down everything except our Aussie flags and our down under rally flag, and that's all that we're flying at the moment. I guess when you're in a bit of a war zone, you've got to do what you've got to do.
War zone.
Say you, Moggs.
Well, we came to New Caledonia, but there was unrest, civil unrest. The Canucks, they say they want their own country. We say no, we love this country, we run this country, but no, it's no good. So unfortunately we must leave this country because the Canucks must have it. So off we go to Vanuatu, where we shall invade that country too and have a very good time.
So we're just heading around behind this island to grab a mooring with our friends Yaminda and Kajura and get ready to leave for Vanuatu tomorrow.
Well, look where we are. We're in New Caledonia. We're anchored in the most beautiful, pristine environment you've ever seen in your life. It's pine trees, it's forest, it's tropical, it's palm trees. It's exactly what we thought was in the brochure. And we've got here and just parked here and gone, are you kidding me? The saddest thing is obviously there's a big conflict here right now and we can't stay. We've got to keep going. We cannot come and enjoy this whole place. So yes, it's sad. We will come back here when obviously hopefully things settle down, but right now we're here for the night. We'll have a debrief and a meeting on what we're going to do for as of tomorrow, but we're heading to Vanuatu. It's going to take us 3 days, but we have to leave this. But right now we're going to just breathe it in.
Well, it's a beautiful morning here in Bay de Prony. It's a real shame that we don't get to stay a bit longer here. We've been in New Caledonia for about 40 hours now. So after having bashed around and thrashed around in the Coral Sea for 6 days, we finally got in and now we're preparing to get out.
We're off. Spent 2 nights, the grand total of 2 nights in New Caledonia. And
that was worth an 800 nautical mile journey.
Well worth it. And
we'll tick that country off our list.
now we are off to Vanuatu. It's going to take us 2.5 days, which sounds like a bloody dream after 6 days across from Australia. So
well, let's hope it's a dream and not a nightmare.
Forward to it. We've got a couple of sailing buddies that we're going to be heading off with, and yes, we're feeling very optimistic and excited.
And now to the paperwork.
So I'm going to sit down in my little mobile office and do the paperwork to enter New Caledonia, leave Caledonia and enter Vanuatu. So all at once, just like that. It's really champagne sailing out here today. We've got about 15 to 17 knots after the beam. It was sunny until just a little while ago, and now it's just gone a little bit cloudy, so that's a shame because we really need to be charging our batteries from solar. But apart from that, it's pretty good. We've got our little staysail up there doing quite a good job in spite of an overpowered main. We've put the main up to one reef to get a bit more speed, but of course it's made us a little bit more rolly, but we're surfing down the waves quite nicely.
Yeah, we're hitting mid sevens, 7 knots, 7.5 knots, which we are very bloody happy about.
It's not too bad considering we don't have our big heady anymore.
No.
Poor thing's just held up there on the furler, and it's
Absolutely shat itself.
dripping shreds. Not pretty.
So the little sail that could is doing its job. We're very happy with it. We've got to look after it.
Yeah, so we're just trying to nurse the boat. So yeah, trying not to have any more breakages. But yeah, well, so far so good today. So we're just following the cats up ahead, Kajura and Yaminda. It's going well. So we're heading across at the moment. We've left the coast of the main island of New Caledonia, and we're heading across to go between the islands of Mare and Lefou, and basically from here it's pretty much a straight line up to Vila in Vanuatu.
Which compared to the trip across from Australia to New Cal, this feels like
so far so good.
Yeah, it just
All I'll
feels
say.
so much better. It's only 280 miles. Who gives a rat's ass? 18 hours to go, and we'll be in Vanuatu. We've been on the water for 10 days now. The last 11 days.
And we haven't set foot on land yet.
Have not set foot on land. It's like, come on, what is going on here? So yes, tomorrow we should be there by hopefully about 9 o'clock. We can just get into recovery mode. It'll be wonderful. But right now sailing's pretty good. It's a little lumpy, but we're going sort of downwind, and we're doing 6 to 7, maybe 8 knots occasionally. So if we keep at this pace, we'll get into Vanuatu tomorrow morning, Port Vila, at a really good time. So fingers crossed, everything goes well. Well, we are now just about to come into Vanuatu, Port Vila. It took us pretty well exactly 48 hours, 2 days, which I think, if you look up the how long does it take to get to Vanuatu, that is a very good time. So we've killed
320 nautical miles.
320 nautical miles. So that's 160
a day.
160 a day, which is pretty happy with that. And that's sailing. There's no motor, nothing, just sailing. So yeah, we're very happy with ourselves, and we're now about to go around the headland about 15 minutes time, and then down into the port where we have to then anchor off, and the biosecurity and customs come and check us in and do all that sort of stuff. And yeah, we're very excited, but this was not in the brochure.
No. Squally all night.
And by the way, we've worked out we've done around about 1,300 nautical miles since we left 11 days ago from Southport. So whew, we've done a lot of water travel. A lot more to come.
Where are we now?
Oh, sunny Vanuatu.
Beautiful one day, perfect the next.
Oh boy. Well, we came in, it was a beautiful, what a team we are right now. Paulus, the sail savant, Catherine, the the chic savant and Mark, the average driver.
Oh, we're unaccustomed to traffic. We're just on the final approach into the harbour in Vila. There's 3 yachts that have all just been coming in from Nemea. Cargo ship that's just about to go in, so we've been told to wait. Well, at first look, Vila is pretty misty rainy, but we'll take it. And so we eventually arrived in Port Vila and stepped foot on land for the first time in 10 days. And happy days they were too, as we discovered we could clear immigration while relaxing with a well-earned beer. Frivolity and good times followed as we swapped stories with our fellow ralliers, enjoying dinner, music and dancing on terra firma, courtesy of Vanuatu tourism. It seems they were as happy to see us safe in Vanuatu as we were.
Very, very happy about that, so much. We can't wait to hang out here for a bit longer and drink more of your wine and beer. So yeah, thank you so much. Good on you guys, thank you.
And so to the age-old cruiser's lament, fixing your boat in exotic places. So do you think we can repair it? So now we have to actually cut that poor heady even more to get rid of all the fibrous bits that are stopping it from even unfurling and coming down. Oh man, it's tough stuff. I'll give him that. It was quality in its time. Wow, looks huge when it's laid out on the ground like that. Wow. There's nothing quite like the little comforts to be found when finally getting out and about in port after a long and challenging passage. And we Rad-Nomads fully intend to sample them all.